Hey guys, DRush2-in-1 here to walk you through the speedrun for the first stage of X-Men Arcade. Hopefully you've watched the intro video, or at least have an idea on the mechanics of this game before watching this. I'm mostly just going to play through the stage like normal, pausing only when I think I can give some extra information. I'll take a brief stop when Pyro appears to make sure I explain boss fights and positioning. So to start off, we can do a jump smash attack because the screen isn't going to transition. And if you notice, I took an extra small hitch right there just to make sure I got to this next screen. Also took a little bit of time there to try to get down to the rule of 5. So what I'm not going to get here, but what I was hoping for, if you look up at the top left, I've got a single bar of health. That's an important distinction because that means the next time I get hit, I'm going to die. So what I was trying to do is get a death transition. Underneath my pause screen, you'll see it here in a second, is two guys with cannons. Those guys can shoot you from across the stage. So if while the screen was about to transition, they would have shot me, they could have pushed me through the transition, causing me to save time since I'm using my death animation in something that I already had to wait for anyway. It can save upwards of a couple seconds. It actually kind of depends on RNG of when the next person's going to hit you. Because now not only do I have to walk through the transition and then be hit, but I also have to wait for someone to hit me, which hopefully is fast, but who knows. Alright, so see, that took like another second, so I lost a little bit of time there from not getting the death transition. And so I'm going to pause right here. So right here, you can see I've only got 4 characters on the screen, which would make you think, hey, he can just walk through this, the rule of 5 is obeyed. I'm actually going to do a power off here. The reason being is that I want to manage my health. So at the end boss, Pyro, there's only 7 ults that he needs in order to be taken care of. Well, if I don't do this right here, I'm actually going to need to take kind of a weird death later on. But if I do this here, I've got 3 ults left in me. I can do it here, in the next stage, and then 1 stage later on, which you'll kind of see. And then I get a guaranteed hit. So it's very consistent to do it this way. It's the way I would suggest. I've tried it over and over, and this is probably the best strategy for going this way. So you'll probably see what I mean when I play through this. So there's the ult. There's the second ult. Here's the third. I'm down to 1 health, and then I got hit. So that was perfect. That's about... so it's taking that randomness of when I'm going to get hit out of the equation. Alright, so I'm going to pause right here. So now that we're at the boss fight, for this one it's Pyro. So for boss fights, you want to keep track of just how many powers it's going to take down the boss. You're pretty much never hitting them. For Pyro, it's 7. For others, it can be 10 to 12. It's slightly important because it can dictate where you take deaths at through the level. See, like right there, I took the death beforehand because I did the power off when I didn't necessarily have to. But if you can see my health right now, I'm at full health. I've got no mutant power little blue button at the top. So that's 3 that I can do before I die. Now I have 4 that I get for any time I have a life. And if you notice, that counts up to 7, which is perfect for Pyro. Another thing to pay attention to that when I'm actually doing this fight is that there are 2 useful things to do as far as like managing your powers and controlling the field of play, as I would say. So number 1, falling forward is faster than backwards. What that means is that I'm going to be facing the direction that'll pull him towards me as he's facing me, such that he falls forwards. This can save a hitch for the boss whenever they go forward versus backwards. And what I mean by hitch is that the animation for getting up is slightly different if they're pushing off from their stomach versus their back. So there's 1 little extra hitch, so it's a saving of a few frames, which doesn't amount to a whole lot by itself, but over the course of a run, when you've got to do any number of like 100 different ults, it can add up. So number 2, knowing where the boss is going to fall will help us push them to the right part of the screen to instantly damage them when we come back from death. If we push them all the way to the right, that means we have to go all the way to the right after we revive. That's around a second loss, but can be more, and then also, they're not around you. You can't just instantly hit the ult button, which means you could miss. That's very unfortunate, as you'll probably see when you go play through a few times. So, what we want to try to do here is just trap him in the left corner. It actually works out really well because when we're pulling him left, he's facing us, which means that we're actually going to get the lost hitch for pushing them to fall forward as well. So once we come back up, we're actually going to, after we revive and we've pulled him to the left, we're actually going to start pushing him to the right, however. Even though we take the extra loss for the hitch, we want to be at the far right side of the screen at the end to transition to the next stage. So now I'm going to walk through the Pyro fight. Alright, see, I've got him knocked forward. This is actually perfect, and he'll do the kick. And now he wanders over to the right for some reason. Okay. And I should be in good position. And I actually was a little late there because I let him pop up. And see, I walked right through the door. So that kind of concludes stage 1. That's how you want to go it. It's about a minute or less. I think 55 is my best time on the stage. Remember, this is a PSN version of the game, so it's going to be slightly different as far as the emulators you play for an arcade version, but the mechanics should still be very much the same. So, thanks for watching. I've got more videos to watch. If you want to watch the next stage, hopefully go to the next video.